Welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Take a breath. Today, we're diving into something many of us secretly face, the hidden reason why most language learners quit within the first 24 hours. But don't worry, this is not a sad story. It's a journey of hope, reflection, and growth. And as you listen, I want you to do something special. Notice the words, the rhythm, the expressions. Let the English sink into you naturally, like music, not like homework. Because language isn't just grammar or vocabulary, it's emotion, sound, and connection. And by the end of this story, you'll gain not just new English expressions, but a deeper understanding of what it truly takes to keep going, even when your motivation fades. So before we begin, tell me in the comments, where are you listening from, and what time is it there right now? Let's see how far this story travels. Rain softens. A quiet piano note lingers. Imagine this, it's midnight. A young woman named Hannah sits at her desk, the glow of her laptop painting her face in blue light. She's filled with excitement. She's just promised herself, this time, I'm really going to learn English. Her heart races as she opens a new notebook. The first page is clean and white, a symbol of beginning. She writes the words, Day 1, my English journey. She even practices saying it aloud, my English journey. Her voice trembles a little, but her eyes shine with hope. She opens YouTube, searches for how to learn English fast, and hundreds of videos appear, all promising miracles. She clicks one, then another, then another. She repeats phrases. She takes notes. She imagines her future self speaking fluently, confidently. In her mind, she's already traveling the world, meeting new people, maybe even working abroad. But soon, the night grows long. Her energy begins to fade. She yawns. The videos start to blur together. Too many tips, too many methods. One video says, you must memorize 1,000 words in a week. Another says, never translate, only think in English. Another one, watch English for 6 hours every day. Hannah feels a strange pressure building inside her. She whispers, maybe I'm not good enough for this. Her excitement begins to fade into confusion, then self-doubt, then silence. Soft pause. The rain stops. This is the moment when most learners quit, not because they're lazy, but because they feel lost. They don't fail at learning English. They fail at managing their expectations. They believe that learning a language is like running a race, fast, competitive, measurable. But in truth, it's more like planting a tree. At first, nothing seems to grow. Days go by, and all you see is dirt, but under the surface, roots are forming, invisible progress. That's what most learners never see, their hidden progress. Gentle, hopeful music swells. If you ever felt that same doubt, remember this phrase, slow growth is still growth. Repeat it with me softly. Slow growth is still growth. Every new word you understand, every sentence you listen to, even this moment right now, it all counts. The brain learns silently, like a seed in the dark. So tonight, as Hannah closes her notebook, she doesn't realize it yet, but something small has already begun to grow. A thought, a choice, a spark that says, maybe tomorrow I'll try again. Pause. Soft wind through an open window. She doesn't know it, but this is where the real journey begins. Not on day 1, but on the day after day 1. The day when motivation fades, but persistence whispers, keep going. The next morning, Hannah wakes up with heavy eyes. Her notebook lies open on the desk. The words, Day 1, my English journey, staring back at her like a quiet question. For a moment, she feels embarrassed. I already missed my plan, she whispers. Maybe I don't have the discipline, but something inside her, a small, persistent voice, answers, try again. Just one more day. She makes a cup of coffee, sits down and opens a short English video. This time, she doesn't rush. She just listens. She doesn't understand every word, but she catches something. The phrase, don't give up yet. Those 3 words echo in her mind like a melody. Don't give up yet. And that's when something shifts. She starts to realize that English isn't a race. It's a relationship, one you build with patience, like getting to know a new friend. Pause, the sound of pen writing. She writes new words in her notebook. Persistence, curiosity, courage. Each one feels powerful. Each one feels like a little step forward. Let's pause for a moment and think about those words. Persistence means to keep trying even when it's difficult. Curiosity means wanting to learn, to explore, to discover. Courage means being brave even when you feel afraid. These are not just English words, they're life lessons. And as Hannah writes them, she starts to understand learning a language is really about becoming a stronger version of yourself. Music swells, gentle strings. Later that day, Hannah joins an online language group. At first, she's too shy to speak. She types hello, then deletes it. She types again, hello from Japan, and presses send, and something beautiful happens. Someone replies, then another. A learner from Brazil says, "Hi Hannah, nice to meet you." A student from Egypt adds, "Don't worry, my English is not perfect too." For the first time, Hannah feels it, connection, not grammar, not vocabulary, but human warmth through words. She realizes that language is not about perfection, it's about communication, it's about emotion, it's about being understood. Pause, the sound of laughter in the distance. That night, Hannah records her voice for the first time. She reads a short English sentence, "I am learning English, one step at a time." Her pronunciation isn't perfect, but it's hers. She listens to her own voice, nervous, soft, but real, and she smiles. She remembers how yesterday she almost quit, and now, just one day later, she's speaking, listening, writing, and connecting. Sometimes, progress hides behind the smallest actions. One sentence, one smile, one hello. Soft piano returns, reflective tone. Many learners quit, not because they can't learn, but because they never learn to be patient with themselves. They expect to be fluent instantly, to speak like native speakers overnight. But language doesn't bloom overnight. It blooms over time, through consistent sunlight, through attention, repetition, and kindness. So if you ever feel like giving up, remember Hannah. Remember that the first 24 hours don't define your success, they test your patience. And that test, my friend, is one you can pass. Pause, deep, cinematic breath. Before she sleeps, Hannah writes one final line in her notebook. Tomorrow will be day 2. And as she closes it gently, she whispers a promise, not to be perfect, not to be fast, but to be consistent. Music fades to soft silence. Outside, the rain begins again, but this time, it feels different. It's no longer the sound of doubt, it's the sound of growth. And while most learners give up after the first day, Hannah has already crossed an invisible line, from fear into faith. Days pass. Then weeks. And slowly, Hannah's small promise, just one more day, turns into something beautiful. She begins to find rhythm in the repetition. Every morning she listens to a short English story while making breakfast. Every night, she writes one English sentence about her day. Today I felt tired. I met my friend. I learned something new. Each sentence feels simple, but together they build something powerful. Momentum. And that, my friend, is the secret most people never discover. Motivation may start your journey but momentum keeps it alive. Soft piano note. Pause. Sometimes she still feels doubt. There are days when she forgets words. Days when her accent feels too heavy. Days when she compares herself to others and thinks, I'm too slow. But instead of quitting, she whispers one phrase she learned early on. Progress, not perfection. That phrase becomes her anchor. A quiet reminder that mistakes are not signs of failure, but signs of growth. And every time she gets back up, she learns something more valuable than English grammar. She learns resilience. Pause. The sound of pages turning. Let's reflect on that word for a moment. Resilience. It means the ability to recover quickly after difficulty, like a tree bending in the wind, but never breaking. Language learners need resilience more than anything else, because fluency isn't just about words, it's about emotional endurance. Hannah's progress continues. One evening, she joins a video call with her language group. Her hands tremble a little as she turns on the microphone. Hi, I'm Hannah, she says softly. Nice to meet you. There's a pause, then smiles, then laughter, then conversation. And for the first time, she feels it. She's speaking in English, not perfectly, not fluently, but confidently. That small conversation changes everything. It's the moment her dream stops being imaginary and starts becoming real. Music swells gently, hopeful strings. Now here's the truth. I want you to remember. Most learners quit within 24 hours because they never make it to this moment. They never give themselves enough time to feel progress. They measure their success by how much they know, not by how much they've grown. But language learning is not a test, it's a transformation. You start as a listener, unsure and quiet. Then one day you become a speaker, brave enough to be heard. And it all begins when you decide, I will not quit today. Pause. Sound of gentle wind outside, turning to a golden sunset. Months later, Hannah sits by the same window where she once wanted to give up. Her notebook is no longer empty. It's filled with her handwriting, her progress, her stories. She opens to the very first page. Day 1. My English journey. She smiles and writes one last line below it. Day 100. Still learning, still growing. Then she whispers almost like a prayer. Thank you, past me, for not giving up. Soft, emotional piano builds. And that, dear listener, is the quiet truth behind every success story. It's not about talent or luck. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, even when no one claps, even when you think you're not improving. Every small effort adds up. Every word you listen to, every mistake you make, every time you keep going when it would be easier to quit. Because in language and in life, persistence creates miracles. Music fades into soft warmth. So wherever you are listening from right now, remember Hannah, and remember this. The difference between quitting and succeeding is often just one more day of trying. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more cinematic English journeys that teach through emotion, not just explanation. Let's keep growing, one word at a time. Tell me in the comments, what keeps you motivated to keep learning English? I'd love to hear your story. Music fades out. Final note lingers like a quiet sunrise.